אתם עומדים להכיר את אחד האנשים הכי שנויים במחלוקת בעולם המוסלמי. אימאם מוחמד תוהידי, שמכונה גם אימאם אוף פיס, טוען שהאיסלאם חייב לעבור רפורמה. הוא יוצא נגד הקיצונים ואפילו קורא לשיתוף פעולה עם היהודים. למה הוא כל כך שנוי במחלוקת? ומה הוא באמת אומר? בואו נצפה יחד ונגלה. ככה האסלאם הקיצוני חודר לפוליטיקה.
Okay, so let's just do a little bit more of the depth. Okay, so wait, so we have sort of the ex-Muslims and the nominal Muslim, then the moderate that you say is not really a thing, actually. Then can you sort of explain Islamist and jihadist?
Okay.
And if there's anything else that I missed within that.
Islamist is an individual that believes in preaching and spreading and expanding Islam and the message of Islam through militant means. So they would spread Islam by the sword, and now the tactics are a bit different. Now it's getting through Congress. So before it was by the sword, now it's getting themselves into parliament and then making laws that act as the sword, the Islamophobia law in Canada, M103.
Yeah.
So an Islamist would silence you just to spread his agenda. That's different from a Muslim. A Muslim would say, okay, this is the Quran, I believe Allah is the right God, I believe Islam is true. Accept it, you don't accept it, you're not going to be saved. Good night, good night. That's basically a Muslim. An Islamist will actually go the extra mile of kidnapping someone because they drank alcohol and whipping them because they believe that is the right thing to do. We've seen across Europe, statues are being destroyed because it's not allowed in Islam. So that's an Islamist. An Islamist organization would be Hamas. Hamas is an Islamist organization that did terrorist doings. It's responsible for terrorist activities, so then it became a terrorist organization. But its ideology is an Islamist ideology. Mm-hmm. So two-state solution is not an option. They need to be eliminated because our message is the right one. That's an Islamist mentality. Mm-hmm. Now, the other person or the other group of people would be the fundamentalists. A fundamentalist Muslim wants to preserve the message of Prophet Muhammad and live like Muhammad the same way he lived. So if the reports say Muhammad had a short pants because his pants would stop to his ankle, they'd go to university, Harvard University, with their ankles sticking out.
Right.
So if there was no deodorant in Mecca, we're not going to use deodorant. If Muhammad never trimmed his beard with a blade, then we're not going to use a blade on ours. That's a fundamentalist. Mm-hmm. And these guys will always take the side of the Islamist rather than the moderate. Mm-hmm. And also moderate is just a politically created term. It's a political term to differentiate. Yeah. But at the end of the day, I don't believe there's more. You're either Muslim or you're not, and then there are levels in faith as to how deep you are and how much into the religion you are.
So where does the jihadist fit into that? Because I thought that was a little bit of your definition of a Islamist because of the use of violence.
Okay. The Islamist isn't always a jihadist. Mm-hmm. An Islamist can be someone who believes in the ideology of spreading Islam by violence, who believes that's the right way, that's how religion should develop, but they don't actually go and fight. You know who these people are? The majority of the imams. Yeah. So they're sitting in their mosques, recruiting, sending people to ISIS, but they're not jihadists. Mm-hmm. The imam is responsible for the jihadist going and joining ISIS. So he's an Islamist, and he would send the Islamist congregation to then become jihadists.
So this is when people talk about the radicalization that's happening in mosques in the West, you believe that to be a real thing?
Of course it is a real thing, and it's something we battle every single day.
If I was to go into one of these mosques,
right,
what would I be hearing?
Well, firstly, because of your beard, you'd be welcomed.
I'd be welcome. I'd have to lengthen this a little bit. Okay.
Yes, you'd be welcomed.
Yeah. Okay.
And a fundamentalist mosque would definitely frown upon you if you had shaved your beard completely. Mm-hmm. So beard, you'd be welcome. But
so if you don't have a beard, you actually can't even go in.
No, probably. You can. They'll just tell you what's wrong. Are you a woman?
Yeah.
Are you a Jew? Why? Because the reports say that the Jews that came to fight Muhammad had no beards on. It was a sign of going to war. In Arabia, the sign of going to war would be to shave your head. The Jews in Arabia would shave their
איזה
beard.
שטויות
So that you
הדתות
can tell
האלה.
who is who in the battle.
Jesus.
So,
Jesus.
yeah, so the Muslims kept their beards.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Right? So it's not a crime. I mean, there are many reformers who don't have beards. It's no big deal. Many
Okay,
Muslims don't.
I grow this out. It's a week from now. I say to you,
Let's go.
Imam, get me to one of these mosques. I
Okay.
want to know what's going on. I walk in with you, let's say.
On a Friday prayer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, just tell me what is actually being spoke of that is the place from where it goes from an Islamist ideology to a fundamentalist ideology. What are people hearing?
Okay,
Basically?
well, firstly, it depends on the speaker. It depends on the imam.
Of course.
There are Islamist imams who say in close circles what they will not say on the pulpit because of the laws in the West. And then there are imams who would go on there and say things nobody could ever imagine would ever be said in the history of Islam on the pulpit. They would just say it. So there are two.
In the West.
In the
Some of
West,
them are
yeah.
doing this in the West. I mean,
In
we
the
see
West.
this out of Canada a lot.
Yeah.
Just these incredibly awful things that people that they're saying.
Memory has a wonderful archive
Yeah.
of all of these issues. YouTube is another great source. And the issue is the mosque records the imam and uploads it on YouTube. So it's nothing being discovered. They know that the world is going to react this way and they still continue to produce this content. And now they're speaking in English, which makes my job a lot easier because I have to translate sometimes, but now they're just saying it in English. Yes, we want to be heard and we want to conquer. And
So when I see these videos, and Memory does a great job of the translations, when I see these videos, but let's say the ones that aren't translated from Canada, for example, they want that message to get out of the mosque. Like you would think that's contrary to what they would want. You'd think it's like you'd want to keep it sort of radicalized within so you can put a good face on things. But you're saying when they're talking about this and that with the Jews and the gays and the this and that and the other thing, you're saying they actually want that to get out there because they're the ones putting it out.
yes, and also there's a concept of the one Muslim nation, and it's called the Muslim Ummah, Ummat al-Islam, the Islamic nation. Now, what it is basically a Muslim is a citizen of two or more nations. One, the nation they live in, America, Australia, the UK, and the second one is the nation of Islam, not Farrakhan, but the actual Islamic nation. So if the Mufti in Mecca issues a fatwa, an Islamist sitting in LA would commit a terrorist attack. You see that connection?
Yeah.
So when
So if Salman Rushdie's at Starbucks,
yes, and someone in
here.
Iran issues a fatwa, they'll get him here. There's a link, and no other religion has this power, unless it's an organized organization that targets people and sends hitmen. But no other religion has this power.
עד כדי
And
כך
Imam
הם
Mecca
שטופי מוח.
would say that the Jews are the enemy, or that the Christians are the enemy, knowing 100% that there will be a Muslim who would go and commit a terrorist attack. He doesn't even have to look for him. He doesn't need to do anything. He just knows there's a Muslim who will get this and will do the job. No other religion has this. And we see it several times where in Russia, they killed I think it was, in Turkey. I think it was. A Russian ambassador was shot dead.
oh yeah,
Yes.
there's a video of it. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, just right in the museum or something.
He
yeah.
was supposed to protect him, and he said, for Syria. And we see
Oh,
this
yeah.
every single month. An act doesn't go by without someone in the West committing a terrorist attack and saying, this is for Syria. This is for Iraq. What's that link? And this confuses our intelligence departments. They've never seen anything like it. So when we're speaking about imams uploading videos online, they're actually contributing to that platform of the Islamic nation. Whoever's out there, this is our message.
So I know you're a free speech guy because I see you tweeting about it all the time, and then you're exercising your free speech here. It's a beautiful thing. What should be done? Now, I don't mean just from the inside conversation. Say you meeting with a more fundamentalist imam and trying to, get him back, let's say, towards the center or something. But what should be done by these states? What should Canada? What should the United States? What should Australia be doing? Because they're using the freedoms of the West against themselves. I mean, this is as difficult a free speech topic as there is for the true free speech people.
Yeah, they're fighting for democratic rights to be applied for the extremist, for the Islamist, when the Islamist doesn't believe in democracy. They will use democracy to destroy democracy and then establish their own belief system. Now, what can we do? I think, and I say this all the time when I'm having dinner with a politician or a premier or anyone, and I say, your political party is finished. You guys are infiltrated. And if you email me, I'll send you reports about one or two of your candidates and what their backgrounds are like. And they remain speechless. And I'm not speaking liberal. I'm speaking conservative party. Mm-hmm. I'm speaking parties who, we have hope in. Okay, these guys will seriously serve the cause of national security, will, tighten the situation at the borders, won't let these jihadists come in. Refugees who end up being jihadists, we've had them in Australia. So these guys are being infiltrated. So number one, what we can do...
So what does that mean, they're being infiltrated? Meaning that there are actual operatives within the political parties? I mean, I just had Brigitte Gabriel on, who talks a lot about the Muslim Brotherhood's long plan.
Yes,
that this is an actual plan.
זה פשוט מטורף. עד כמה שטיפת מוח יכולה להגיע רחוק, זה מאוד מאוד מסוכן. בני אדם זה אנשים מאוד מאוד מסוכנים. אתה יכול לתכנת להם את המוח מגיל קטן, לשטוף להם את המוח, וזה הכל. ואז הם לא יבדילו בין טוב לרע. זה פשוט מטורף. תנו בלייק ונתראה בסרטונים הבאים.